Virgin Hyperloop One zooms into Capitol Hill, taking delegates from Missouri who are pushing for a Hyperloop route through the I-70 corridor connecting St. Louis, Columbia, and Kansas City. Virgin Hyperloop One says its Hyperloop on the Hill event is meant to showcase its technology to members of Congress and federal stakeholders. The way it works, the Hyperloop pod vehicle would accelerate gradually with electric propulsion through a low-pressure tube that glides above the track through magnetic levitation. Andrew Smith is the vice chair of Missouri's Blue Ribbon Panel on Hyperloop. The public-private group, chaired by Missouri's Lieutenant Governor, is devoted to finding ways of making Missouri the location of the nation's first Hyperloop track.
In Missouri, I think we're unique in that we are the only state that has a formal political process underway. And we've been tasked with going back to the Speaker and ultimately to the Governor with a report in September that is not theoretical in nature, but is very concrete and very detailed and spells out how do you actually begin building a route in the state of Missouri. What are the legislative requirements? What are the funding requirements? What regulatory issues do we have to overcome? And ultimately, how do we start breaking ground on this and make it a reality?
The formation of the Blue Ribbon Panel and its mission comes on the heels of a promising Hyperloop feasibility study by Kansas City engineering giant Black & Veatch. Missouri was the first state to complete a full feasibility report. It confirmed that high-speed travel through a tube travel system is not only possible, a trip on a pod like this from St. Louis to Kansas City in 30 minutes is also safe and sustainable. That's compared to 52 minutes by plane and 2.5 hours by car. And here in Washington, D.C., Missouri isn't losing momentum the summer before the Blue Ribbon Panel is expected to release its report.
The best thing about our route is the location. It's where the U.S. highway system began under Dwight Eisenhower. There's a little plaque outside of St. Charles, Missouri, which is a suburb of St. Louis. It says these are the first miles of the U.S. interstate system. And that's not a coincidence and it's not an accident. The reason that the interstate system began in Missouri is because we're close to the population center of the United States and we're close to the geographic center of the United States. And if you begin with the end in mind, which I think we're all trying to do here, and you're thinking about building out a national network that connects as many cities as possible, you start in the middle. You don't start on the margins.
With that level of enthusiasm, Virgin Hyperloop One says the event is to build off of the momentum of the U.S. Secretary of Transportation Elaine Chao's newly formed Non-Traditional and Emerging Transportation Technology Council. The council is supportive of new and innovative transportation projects like Hyperloops and self-driving cars. Virgin Hyperloop One's Hyperloop on the Hill offers an inside look at developments within states like Missouri, where Hyperloop is a strong possibility.
I think for us in Missouri, we're moving so fast, okay, at the state level. Virgin Hyperloop One is moving so fast on the technology side that we're actually way out ahead right now of the federal government and the regulators. We've got to get them up to speed, being able to meet with them face to face, seeing tangible work product, lighting a bit of a fire under something.
Smith explains how Missouri's Hyperloop initiative is led by a broad public-private coalition uniting many groups, which includes the Casey Tech Council.
We've been involved for a couple years in this project. It's been an exciting opportunity to really leverage the strengths of Kansas City and the state of Missouri. We've always been a transportation logistics hub ever since the days of covered wagons, stopping in our city, resupplying, going west. And that's fueled a number of advancements in those industries. And I think this is a continuation of the fact that we're located right in the middle of the country, on major highways and railways connecting Kansas City. And with the I-70 corridor, we've got a real opportunity to maximize that asset. And it's only natural that that conversation would be taken to the federal level. We do not want this to just be connecting Kansas City, Columbia, and St. Louis. We want this to connect the entire country, and ideally it would go through Missouri.
With the federal government's help, Smith believes Missouri can build the future of transportation.
We have to find a way to pull government along with us because we need them as a partner. What we're trying to do right now is put the people who have the authority to regulate this together with the people who have the motivation to get it done.
I love to be part of projects where people say, that's never going to happen, and that's too far in the future. That's the kind of stuff I want to be involved with. But over the course of 2 years, that conversation has changed to when this happens, how this is going to impact our workforce, our economy, and the way that we move people and goods. And that has been a very fulfilling thing to be a part of.
Something this big, a new mode of transportation, is going to take a lot of collaboration. It's going to take private industry, it's going to take private capital, it's going to take regulatory authority, it's going to take public sector leadership, and it's going to take a lot of work from universities, from research universities in particular, to keep improving that technology, right? And to train the next generation of engineers and scientists who are going to continue to build it out. So from the very beginning, we've tried to be as collaborative as we can and pull all of these sectors and these interest groups together.
For HEC, I'm Kathleen Berger.